Onigiri is not just that cute little rice triangle you grab from a convenience store shelf. It is actually one of Japan's smartest food designs. It is cheap, easy to carry, filling, and built so the first bite feels almost too simple, while the inside is doing most of the work. And once you notice that, a lot of Japanese food starts to make more sense. It often looks clean, small, and almost minimal on the surface, but underneath, it is carefully balancing rice, umami, sauce, fat, crunch, softness, and portion size. So subscribe, because once you understand the design behind these foods, Japanese food starts looking very different. To really understand Japanese food, you have to stop looking at it as just a list of famous dishes. Sushi, ramen, tempura, udon, mochi, those names are familiar, but the deeper pattern is much more interesting. A lot of it comes down to four things: rice, umami, sauce, and texture. Rice gives the meal its foundation. It is warm, filling, neutral, and ready to soak up whatever flavor lands on it. Umami gives the food depth, so even a small bite can feel bigger and more satisfying than it looks. Sauce adds speed. It can turn plain noodles, meat, vegetables, or rice into something instantly craveable. And texture is what keeps your mouth interested. Soft rice, chewy noodles, crisp edges, slippery sauce, tender egg, and that little contrast that makes you want another bite. Once you see those four rules, Japanese food stops looking simple and starts looking engineered. Onigiri might look like one of the simplest foods in Japan, but it works almost like a natural food package. The rice has to be sticky enough to hold its shape, but still soft enough to bite through cleanly. It has to be plain enough to stay balanced, but not so plain that it feels boring. Then the seaweed adds grip, aroma, and that thin snap on the outside, especially when it is still crisp. The clever part is how little filling it needs. Most of the bite is just rice, but one small pocket of salty salmon, tuna mayo, pickled plum, or seasoned kelp pulls the whole thing forward. The filling does not have to dominate, because the rice stretches its flavor across every bite. That is why onigiri can fill you up without feeling heavy. But when Japanese food wants more crunch, more heat, and a stronger hit of pleasure, it moves straight into oil. Karaage is fried chicken, but it does not feel like the big, heavy fast food version most people expect. The difference starts before the chicken ever touches the fryer. The meat is usually marinated first, so the flavor moves into the chicken instead of sitting only on the outside. Soy sauce, ginger, garlic, and sometimes a little sake build that savory smell before the first bite even happens. Then comes the coating. Instead of a thick, bready shell, karaage often uses a lighter, starchier coating that fries into a thin, rough crisp. And because the pieces are smaller, every bite gives you more edges, more aroma, and more juicy center. It feels intense without needing to be oversized. That is the trick. Karaage does not win by being huge. It wins by making each piece more concentrated. But Japanese food does not always need frying to become craveable. Sometimes the fastest shortcut is sauce. Yakisoba looks like a simple pile of fried noodles, but the real engine is the sauce. The noodles are slightly oily, the surface is ready to grab flavor, and then the sauce hits with that sweet, salty, tangy, savory punch all at once. That is why a few basic ingredients can suddenly taste much bigger than they are. Cabbage adds crunch, thin pork adds aroma, and the noodles carry everything, because starch is extremely good at holding sauce. Tare works in a similar way across many Japanese foods. It is not just seasoning sprinkled on at the end. It is a shortcut to depth, color, smell, and craving. It makes food feel darker, richer, glossier, and more complete almost instantly. But when Japanese food wants comfort instead of intensity, it changes strategy. It goes softer, warmer, simpler, and much more filling. Udon and donburi are where Japanese food stops trying to impress you and starts trying to calm you down. Udon does it with thick, chewy noodles, warm broth, and a texture that feels almost soothing. It does not need a mountain of toppings to work. The noodles carry the heat. The broth brings that gentle umami, and even a small amount of scallion, tempura, meat, or egg can change the whole bowl. Donburi does the same thing, but with rice. Hot rice catches sauce, soft egg, sliced meat, vegetables, or fried toppings, and everything settles together into one easy meal. The comfort does not come from being extreme. It comes from warmth, softness, and fullness. But modern Japanese food did not stop a tradition. It also became very good at borrowing ideas, changing them, and making foreign dishes feel completely Japanese. Omurice and karaage are perfect examples of that. They show how Japan can take an outside idea and rebuild it into comfort food. Omurice takes fried rice, wraps it in soft egg, and finishes it with ketchup or a glossy sauce. So the whole dish feels warm, sweet, familiar, and easy to eat. Karaage does something similar with mashed potato, meat, or vegetables. The outside is coated in crumbs and fried until crisp, while the inside stays soft and creamy. Even Hamburg steak becomes gentler, saucier, and more rice-friendly in Japan. And that is the surprising part. Some dishes that people think of as deeply Japanese are actually adapted dishes, softened and redesigned around rice, sauce, and texture. Japan does not just copy food. It edits food until it fits the way people actually want to eat. And that same obsession with texture becomes even more obvious when you get to Japanese sweets. Mochi, daifuku, and taiyaki show that Japanese desserts often chase texture before they chase pure sugar. Mochi is soft, stretchy, slightly chewy, and almost playful to eat. So the pleasure comes from the pull and bounce as much as the sweetness. Daifuku takes that soft rice dough and hides a filling inside, creating contrast between the gentle outside and the dense center. Whether that center is red bean, fruit, cream, or ice cream, taiyaki adds another layer. Again, a warm cake-like shell, crisp little edges, and a soft filling sealed inside. Compared with many Western desserts, these sweets do not always hit you with heavy buttercream, thick frosting, or an obvious sugar rush. They keep you interested because the texture keeps changing. But that lighter, cleaner feeling is also where one of the biggest misunderstandings begins. And this is the hidden truth: Japanese food can look clean, small, balanced, and beautifully portioned, but that does not always mean it is light. A bowl can still be built on a full base of white rice. A glossy sauce can carry sugar, salt, and deep savory flavor in just a few spoonfuls. A small piece of fried food can feel harmless because it looks neat instead of messy. Even a dessert that tastes gentle can still be mostly starch, filling in sweetness wrapped in a softer texture. That does not make Japanese food bad. It just means the clean look can fool your brain. When food is tidy, portioned, and beautiful, we often underestimate how filling, salty, sweet, oily, or carb-heavy it actually is. The shock is not that Japanese food is secretly terrible. The shock is that clean-looking and light are not the same thing. So the smarter choice is not to treat Japanese food as automatically healthy, and it is not to treat it with suspicion either. Just look at how the dish actually works. If the base is mostly rice or noodles, that is the main fuel. If the sauce is glossy, thick, sweet, salty, or deeply savory, that is where a lot of the flavor is concentrated. If something is fried, the portion may look small, but the oil still matters. And if a dessert feels light because it is soft, chewy, or delicate, remember that texture can make sweetness feel gentler than it really is. Japanese food is not magic. It is balance, sauce, texture, portion, heat, and design. Once you understand that, you can enjoy it more clearly, choose a little smarter, and stop being fooled by the clean look. Subscribe for more food explained like this.